Hi, my name's Kerry Wolff, and this is the Together We Can method for Dr. Stephen Keaty's class in ORGD 6060. I'd like to start this method with a success story. We'll talk about Procter & Gamble in this story. So in 2005, Procter & Gamble wanted to spark internal growth and innovation by incorporating Gillette's processes into its own. Procter & Gamble went about this with first a solid strategy. They took the time to research how these two companies could merge their best processes and talent into one profit-boosting entity. And they did this by forming global integration teams and noting that the key to this integration was not only retaining talent from the Procter & Gamble pool, but retaining talent from the Gillette pool. Each team would have two executives, one from each of the companies, who were responsible to help in this process. To successfully create an atmosphere of collaboration, this took significant communication. They had to clearly communicate the message of inclusion, and they did this through using words such as merger versus acquisition, and they also held town hall style meetings that drove home their principles and why the companies were merging. Throughout it all, Procter & Gamble emphasized the goal of joining what was the best of both companies. The idea of replacing underperforming Procter & Gamble employees with better performing Gillette employees was also a bold strategy, as Procter & Gamble was a promote from within company, and it paid off. The Procter & Gamble employees were supportive of this change. And with this calculated approach of merging the two companies into a single stronger one, the team experienced significant success. Not only did they manage to retain top talent, but they met their revenue goals within a year and enjoyed ongoing growth. So what does this tell us? This tells us that when we focus on the people that are part of the integration and what the human issues are when it comes to mergers and acquisitions, that together we can achieve greatness. So what is the Together We Can method? What is it modeled on? The Together We Can method is a collaboration, which is two or more people that are working together towards shared goals. These are not new concepts. These concepts are based on already proven methods that are out there in the world. Future search, appreciative inquiry, deliberate dialogue, and then focusing on our KPIs through a balanced scorecard. So what is future search? Future search is having the right people in the room, and this is a cross-functional group, including those with authority, information, experience, and need to help make the change. These people share stories that create the conditions of success by understanding first what the whole elephant is before acting upon any part of it. And they focus on the future, seeking common ground, and enable people to take responsibility for their own learning and action plans. It's also rooted in appreciative inquiry, which follows the 4 Ds. Discover what is the best of each company. Dream, what does the business look like moving forward? And design an ideal state and destiny. Deliberate dialogues talks about establishing the right ground rules, and again with sharing personal stories and perspectives and exploring a range of views and ideas. And then sustainability through the balanced scorecard, which we'll talk about in a later slide. The method all begins with a guiding coalition. Without the right leadership, management, and support in place, the integration will never be successful. Again, this takes it back to the human elements. Leadership should really lay out the why of the merger. Why are the two companies coming together? What is the picture of the future, and how can that vision be achieved? Management helps guide the specific steps to implement those strategies and turns those strategies into financial goals. And our team members are there to help support the change efforts. Each team Each member of this team has a really important part of the success of the integration. Each member of this guiding coalition will be responsible to help the organization get through the change curve process. The change curve process is inevitable, and the faster we can get the employees through the change curve process, the more successful we'll be as an organization, or we'll achieve it faster anyway. So how do we start? The Together We Can model is a 3 to 5 day summit, and it's broken down into 3 distinct segments. First, team and trust building. Second, finding our common ground through collaboration and sharing stories. And third, action planning. Together We Can is designed specifically to address the human side of mergers and acquisitions, and ensuring that the right leadership is engaged and the right people are on the teams to maneuver through the change curve. It is proven that employees will support that which they help create. This method is focused on the inclusion of the acquired company and help in the collaboration and alignment of the company as a whole. The people chosen to be involved in the implementation will focus on telling the best practices of what has made their respective organizations successful and how they can align that to a new future state company. Focusing on the people will ensure that the financial goals are met, which of course is the ultimate goal of any company. So what happens in the 3 to 5 days? First, we focus on team building and understanding our different work styles. And this can be done in various ways through behavioral assessments such as MBTI, Predictive Index, DISC, and also different team building activities. Second, we share stories. What has set each organization apart? What are the cultures like? Where there might be barriers. Third, we find common ground. What is an ideal future state? How do we move ahead as one team? And lastly, we take the 1 or 2 things that are wickedly important to success, and we start to create some SMART goals around them. We identify what the key performance indicators of success look like, and we look at that balanced scorecard approach. How can we use that balanced scorecard approach to really drive business success? At the end of the 3 to 5 days, we want to have an effective vision of the future. We want it to be imaginable. We want it to be desirable. We want it to be feasible. We want it to be focused and clear. We want it to be flexible. And we want it to be easy to communicate. And these are all proven methods that John Cotter has already laid out for us in his Leading Change initiative. So to sustain the change, you need to have goals and key performance indicators. It's recommended we use the balanced scorecard approach. Why? The balanced scorecard approach is really rooted in the vision and strategy of the business. It's focused on the people growing and learning the business, improving the business processes, ensuring customer satisfaction, which will in turn, again, meet the financial goals. At the end of the day, a business is in business to meet the financial goals, and we are there to support that need. So how do we sustain this? We spend a lot of time planning. How do we ensure that what we plan is successful? We need to, again, have our goals in place. Having SMART goals, we'll put some time-bound checkpoints to them. And we have leadership engaged in the follow-up and the checking and the acting of those goals. This is an iterative process. This process is not going to be done in 90 days or a year. This process will take a long time. So this process will repeat itself over and over and over again until it just becomes the way we work. Where to find more information on how to utilize the methods we talked about today, you can first check the Change Handbook, and you can second check the Liberating Structures book. There are methods there that will help enhance this model and get you to where you need to be. Especially in times of mergers and acquisitions, we must remember, coming together is the beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. I want to thank you for listening, and I hope your next merger and acquisition, you're able to use this method and have success. Thank you.